You're not going, and that's final. When I told Mark I was going on the beach trip, he didn't yell. He laughed. That tight, dismissive sort of laugh people do when they're trying to remind you who's in charge. You're not serious, he said, still scrolling through his phone. You can't just leave for 4 days. It's been planned for months, I replied, trying to sound firm but not combative. The girls and I already booked the rental. Flights are set. I'm going. Mark set his phone down slowly, like I just challenged him to a duel. You're not going, Ella. And that's final. That line, it echoed, like something from a bad soap opera. But the worst part? A year ago, maybe even a month ago, I might have just nodded and unpacked my bag. But something in me stirred. Maybe it was the way his voice didn't rise, just condescended. Maybe it was the way he called it, just 4 days, like they didn't belong to me, like I hadn't earned them. Maybe it was the fact that I'd already packed my sunscreen with trembling hands at midnight, heart pounding like I was planning a prison break instead of a girl's trip. I stood there in the kitchen, fingers still curled around the handle of my travel bag. Mark, I said slowly, I'm going. He smiled, and not kindly. Why do you need a beach trip anyway? You're not 20. You hate crowds. And don't you think your friends are a little immature for you now? There it was. The soft insult hidden in logic. The way he framed it like concern but loaded it with judgment. A signature Mark move. I used to buy into it, too. For years, I swallowed the subtle jabs, the critiques disguised as advice, the way he turned me into a duller version of myself. We used to travel, once. Before the house. Before his job swallowed his soul and mine became an afterthought. Now I was just Ella who made dinner. Ella who didn't make waves. Ella who stayed. But somewhere between Jess's, you better come, girl, text, and the ache in my chest I'd learned to ignore, I started remembering who I used to be. I need this, I said quietly, more to myself than him. Mark leaned back in his chair, lips pressed into a thin line. You're not going, Ella. If you go, don't expect me to be here when you get back. And there it was, the threat wrapped in a dare. A chill ran through me, but not fear. Not anymore. Just clarity. That night, I unpacked my bag. Not because I was giving in, but because I knew if I went tomorrow, I wasn't coming back the same. I sat on the edge of the bed, phone lighting up beside me, messages from the group chat. Sunny selfies. Cocktails already being poured in tiny airport cups. My friends were halfway there. My fingers hovered over the "I can't make it" reply, but I didn't type it. Instead, I opened my closet and pulled out the red swimsuit I hadn't worn in years. The one Mark once called a little much. It still fit, and it still looked amazing. That night, Mark barely looked at me. We ate dinner in silence. I cleaned up while he muttered something about me needing attention and left the room. By midnight, I was staring at the ceiling, fully dressed, keys in hand. And by 4:30 a.m., I was on the highway. I left a note. Not dramatic. Just honest. Mark, I need space. I'm taking it. I'll be safe. I'll be back Sunday. Ella. The silence in the car was thick, but not heavy. It was full of something else, something like oxygen returning to a room where the windows had been sealed shut. Every mile put distance between me and the life I'd been suffocating in. I hit the beach house by mid-afternoon. The girls screamed when I walked in. Just shoved a drink in my hand. Taylor cranked up the music. For a moment, I couldn't hear my doubts over the sound of laughter. I slipped off my sandals and felt the sand between my toes. And then, standing there in the golden light of early evening, I lifted my phone. Took a picture, just the ocean, the drink, a sliver of my smiling mouth. No caption, just proof. I posted it to Instagram. And I didn't realize I was holding my breath until I crossed the state line. Somewhere just past the county welcome sign, with dawn crawling over the horizon and my coffee gone cold in the cup holder, my shoulders dropped half an inch. Not much, but enough to notice. The group chat had exploded by the time I stopped for gas.